you going through some shit relationships, if anybody's listening, going through a shit relationship, learn. The first thing I did when I got out of my relationships, I went to therapy because I was okay. There's some things wrong with me as to why I accept certain behavior.
What's up, y'all? It's Coach AJ here, Dope Life Coach. This is another Dope Life Podcast episode. And I want to welcome a very, very good friend of mine. I'm going to call her friend now because, look, one thing I love about the internet and social media is how you can make great connections with people. And it's just literally by you just introducing yourself sometimes. So, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the people, tell them who you are, where they can find you, all that good stuff.
Yeah, for sure. So first off, thank you so much for having me here. I am super excited, to be filming with you. Excited to see your content out here. And I love social media because, it helps you find people like yourself, where you're putting out good stuff and it's for free, which is amazing. So my name's Taryn Durrant. I am an online fitness and health coach. I run my business through Instagram. You can find me at my handle, which is literally my first and last name. So it's Taryn, TARYN .. Durant, DURANT. And yeah, hit me up, DM me anytime. I always respond. So thank you. Yeah, thank you for having me.
No doubt. And I'll be putting her handles in the description. So go ahead, please follow. But we were having a bit of a discussion before, and it seems like I'm finding like nowadays I'm having discussions prior, and then I'm like, okay, so let's start recording because we're having important conversations. So like for yourself, like I noticed like I did a little homework that you were working like everybody else, and now you're an entrepreneur. So how did you transition to that? And how did you prepare yourself mentally for that?
Yeah. So I actually went into mental health. I got my undergrad from Fordham, which is school in the Bronx, New York. And then I know you're in Canada, so we're gonna tell you the
I know the Bronx.
We're gonna all right, man. The Bronx, okay. And then I came to Maryland. Actually, I live in Maryland. I went to Towson for my grad, and I always thought I was gonna be a therapist. To be honest, I've always thought I was really good with handling trauma, really good with just being a support for people. I was also an athlete. I grew up playing basketball. I played basketball in college at Fordham as well. And I found like when I was devoting myself to other people, I kind of lost myself. I ended up gaining about 50 pounds in like 7 months, So it didn't feel good. As a Masc presenting person, my body got curvy, like, ooh, like, that was something that I did not love,
it makes it hard for you to buy them jeans too. Like, I swear.
Them jeans is tight. You know what's crazy?
Them jeans are tight.
The jeans, if you either buy it too small and they're, tight, or if you buy them too big, the little front mad long, it's terrible. It's terrible. So it's terrible. So I went through that, and, honestly, I hopped on Instagram. I saw my boy doing this business called Herbalife. I had no idea what it was, but I just saw him getting abs, helping people, working from home, doing it full time. I hit him up, dropped 20 pounds my first 2 months, fell in love with the program, had faith in it, then started helping people there, and was able to quit my job, within 6 months. So it's been a journey. I've been doing the business now 5 years, so full time about 4.5 years or something like that. And yeah, so thank you. Yeah, it's crazy.
That's dope. How did you what made you finally say, you had gained the 70 pounds, your mental health took a bit of a hit, but what made you finally say to yourself, okay, enough is enough? Because a lot of people, I think I'm going through right now, like I was assaulted back last year in June.
Oh, man.
I gained a little pound, a little bit. But eventually I finally said, all right, enough's enough. But the reason why I said it was mentally, I missed working out. Mm-hmm. Like I don't know if everybody knows this, but working out for your mind it's a game changer.
Yeah.
You can work it for your body. It's money. I'm not gonna push you to it. But when you actually do the workout just for your own mental health, it's a game changer.
Yeah.
So for yourself, what made you finally say all right, enough's enough. Like I need to do something that I just to feel better for myself.
Yeah. First and foremost, I want to say, again, I'm so sorry for what you have gone through.
That. Thank you.
I couldn't imagine your experience. I hope you give yourself, I hope you give yourself grace and love and everything that you need. Because that's real. I'm sure everybody that's listening to this is, can understand how real that is. It's scary out here. So crazy. But to answer your question, After I was doing therapy, just to provide more detail, after I was helping people through their problems, I was literally going straight to the liquor store. Like, no joke. Going to the liquor store, I'm buying Henny, I'm buying wine, I'm buying, 6, 12 packs of beer, and getting a bag of chips, big barbecue, bag of chips. That was like dinner.
I mean,
that was dinner, bro. That was dinner.
That be hitting.
Yeah, that be hitting. The honey barbecue, though. Honey barbecue, okay? So, it's still my vice. It's still my vice. I can't do it. I can't have it in the house because I'll eat the whole thing. Anyway, one sitting. Anyway, I would get home and I would literally put on a movie and I would just eat and drink and then fall asleep on the couch, wake up, put my little clothes on, act like I'm a put together mental health therapist, and my mental health was declining. So it got to a point where I was like, man, I'm 23, I'm 20, whatever it was, 23, I think it was 24. Like, I'm too young to be falling asleep with a 6-pack in my, like, I'm too young to be this tired, too young to be this lethargic, this negative in my mindset, too, you know what I'm saying? Like, too boohoo, too sad about, in my ways and hating, for me as a masc presenting person who prefers to be flatter, prefers to be a little bit stronger for my own mental health, right? And my own identity. I hated looking in the mirror, and it was either I'm about to continue doing this, or I'm about to make the hard decision, which is, get away from the comfort eating, get away from the comfort drinking, do something uncomfortable, and, move my body and eat better, yeah.
I don't think people really understand how liquor can really, keep you in such a negative. I mean, I think people do know it, but how easy it could start.
Yeah.
How easily it could start. And I remember I was doing the same thing. I would come home, especially during the time when I got assaulted. Like, the first few weeks, all I did was drink and eat everything I wanted inside. I was like, I didn't care. And when I finally brought it up to my therapist, I just said, yeah, I noticed I'm having a pattern. Like, every evening when I have something cold, and I'm having usually a glass of wine. So thank God for my partner. When I mentioned it to her, I said, I think I'm going to go drive for a bit. But one thing that my therapist would teach me was you could always create conditions with this type of stuff. So I created a condition that I would only drink socially. I would not drink at home.
Nice.
And if I drank at home, it was only because my partner and I are long distance. It'd be like if we're having a date night and I would ask her, is it cool for me to have a drink? So that in a sense, you got somebody keeping you holding you accountable. And then she hopped on the bandwagon with me, which was just, it helped beautiful. 10 times.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then she would ask me, yo, is it cool? And I was just like, we just had each other's back on that. We still do it to this day. And it created a routine between us. And it changed everything.
Yeah.
By me taking a step back and noticing, okay, this became a habit. This is what I'm out here doing.
Yeah.
It just quickly but it, again, support and speaking up and holding myself accountable was what really shifted that entire process.
Yeah.
Me, holding myself accountable. The chips, though, I ain't gonna leave the chips, but you're right. I don't mind that shit. You got that in your house.
You hitting, bro. Chips be hitting. Listen, okay, I'm gonna put you on. I found this little popcorn thing. I don't know what it's made out of, but it's made of maybe rice cake and it's cheddar. Is okay. Bomb. It's bomb, but it's a good substitution. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing with fitness. I know we might talk about that. You don't have to give up. Yeah, you don't got to give up everything that you love. You just got to find the appropriate substitutions and learn balance.
Yep.
I still be crunching, but I don't crunch on honey barbecue chips. I might crunch on something healthier that's honey barbecue flavor. You know what I'm saying? So I get that, same satisfaction.
The same satisfaction. And that, it's crazy you say that because, I always tell people, I find alternatives. Find alternatives. But the one thing that I think saves me every time is I just don't buy it in my house. It just doesn't come home.
Me either.
Because I know what's going to happen. But if my nephews are coming, I have 3 young nephews, but if they're coming over, I'll be like, all right, cool. I'll buy it. But 9 times out of 10, it goes in that snack cupboard, and I never...
Yeah.
I forget because it's in there. It's not in my face.
Good.
And I just forget. And it's high. I'm 5'1". I am about to pull up the friggin'
5'1".
chair.
I'm talking to somebody smaller than me today. Hey, 5'5". Oh, come on. 5'5".
Yeah.
We in here. I'm almost 6 feet. I'm almost 6 feet. No, I'm joking. I ain't no 6 feet.
What?
Congrats on your nephew.
I'm a little shorty.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
Yeah, it's all right.
I'm being a shorty.
Congrats on your nephews. I just had my first nephew this year, and he has been the biggest
How does it feel, Auntie?
Oh man, he is like the best thing in the entire universe.
Yeah.
Truly. Like, I'm so in love. He is amazing. He's so smart and adventurous. It's a crazy feeling, So
shout out to the Sun Daddy aunties.
yes,
yes.
We out
here, we love on our nephews and nieces. I got 3 of them, and like they're like my best pals in the world. They don't even know, and you don't even know it yet, but there's gonna come a time when that little child is just gonna save you from the toughest days that you have. And like the eldest one's, he's 12.
Oh, wow.
There's been times where I would just go to my brother's house and his wife's house, like, and I'll just be playing with this kid, and this kid would be like, "Auntie, look." None of them know my real name. They'll be like, "Just Auntie."
No, I mean, that would be disrespectful if they said.
It's cool. It's, to be honest, I don't mind it. It's like, and it's been passed down 3 times, so it's like, all right, cool. It started off with him.
Okay.
Like, "Auntie this, Auntie that," and then I got the middle one now. "Auntie this, Auntie that," and now the smallest one. The minute he said Auntie was last year, I was just like, we were out, and I just looked. He's like, "Auntie, look." I'm like,
oh. How dare you raise your voice?
My brother looked at me. He's like, "Nah, he's been saying that for like a good like 2 weeks." He's like, "I thought I told you." I'm like, "No, you did."
Oh wow, I would have melted too.
Yeah, it's the best. They save you. They're like,
that's
those 3 guys are my best pals in the world. I love those kids.
Yeah.
But let's start getting into some of the stuff we discussed.
Yeah, for sure.
So we were talking about briefly, and I asked, like, what do you feel is needed within the, let's say, masc and presenting? Like, both of you and I are working in the mental health sector. So, and we've seen the alarming numbers of domestic abuse, within relationships within the LGBTQ plus community, particularly lesbian community. What do you feel is needed? What do you feel is missing?
Yeah, man, that's such a tough and big question, because I can talk about that for so long. Dude, like, I can talk about that for so long. Okay, so first, and I speak from personal experience, right? So when I was younger, and I feel like maybe you have a similar experience, maybe a lot of masc presenting women can relate to this too. But when I was coming up, and I'm 29, right? I feel like we saw only one image, you know what I'm saying? So I thought I had to be hyper masculine. I thought if I was a gay masc presenting woman, I gotta be like a dude, you know what I'm saying? I gotta have, and what sucks about that, and what's so beautiful about us talking right now, and it's all love, is that, I don't know if you ever experienced this, but I've experienced this where you were in a room with other masc presenting women and all sizing each other up, all like, look at, bruh, all of a sudden you get bigger, all of a sudden you walking like this, and you ain't never walked like that. I'm very feminine, you know what I'm saying, in my life. So, when I was younger, I ain't never in my life walked like this, and until I was in a room with the other masculine presenting women, because that's what I saw. That's the energy that I felt. There's always like competition, and I think that's one thing that we can get better at. One, there's no competition. You know what I'm saying? It's all love. Like, we're all people. You know what I'm saying? Why
exactly.
But I think it's because we sometimes mimic or assimilate into heteronormative relationships. Like, there is a man and there is a woman. Because I'm a masc presenting woman, I am now a man. It's very like that. You get what I'm saying? I feel like we kind of fall victim to that toxic masculinity and everything like that. So that's one thing that I think. And then the second thing, honestly, like, and that's still developing for me, but get comfortable with all your energies. Get comfortable with how just because maybe I wear men's clothes, which I do mainly, it's okay. I wear mascara too. If I want to wear I just bought makeup this year. You know what I'm saying? I now paint. Yeah, well, I don't know how to do that. I think I got like concealer. I don't know how to do that. I'm not the one that.
The truth comes out.
Listen, I asked my girlfriend. I was like, "Hey, listen, I just want something for when I'm taking pictures. Like, maybe I can, even things out, because I have like, old scarring and stuff." And she was like, "Okay, you need this," and she said da da da. And I'm like, girl, I don't know what the hell you talking about. Just go get it. You know, I don't know what concealer and MAC and all that. I don't know that stuff, you know, but I know what I want.
Right.
You know, and also getting comfortable with your femininity. Like, you know, I paint my toes, I paint my fingers. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's okay. It's okay. We're humans, and this is a human experience. Okay. Be yourself. Have fun. Don't put yourself in a box, you know? So I think that's just two things I think off the top.
It's missing. Yeah. And you know, it's so crazy both of them hit home, because I remember, like, I'm about 5 years older. No, 6 years. You're 29, right? You just turned 29?
Mm-mm.
Yes. No?
I'm turning 30 this summer.
You turning 30. Okay. Wait, you're 93?
Golly, I'm turning 30. Yes.
Yeah, my partner's 93. My girlfriend's 93. That's crazy.
Oh, you
yeah, she turned 30 in July.
You rocking cradles. No, it's okay.
I'm gonna give you advice about turning 30 in a minute, and anyone that's turning 30 this year they need this advice. But I would say that 100%. When I was first, like, coming out into the world, whatever, as who I was, like, as a masc presenting female, I look back into my pictures and I'm like, Lord have mercy, what are you doing? Like, it was like I was like overly masculine.
You probably had a fitted, a big shirt, because that was big clothes season. That was big clothes.
I didn't have the big clothes, because like I said, I'm 5'1". Like, I'm not. Yeah. I'm short. If I had those big ass t-shirts, they look like nightgowns on me. So I didn't talk with that.
The West Side Boys, that would lean with it, rock with that era.
You remember that?
Yeah,
lean with it, rock with it. Everybody had the 4XL, 5XL t-shirts.
I was listening to that song today, actually doing work. It's so funny. I was literally listening to that song today.
That's crazy. And the Air Force Ones. Yeah, I remember them days. Two-way pages. But yeah, like, of course I know. But yeah, I was. I remember I thought that's how you had to do it, and it wasn't until I was like late 20s when I realized I really don't want to do that. Can I wear fitted jeans?
Yeah.
Like, I really don't. I don't wear these baggy ass jeans. Yeah. I just want to wear fitted ones. And then I wanted to wear fitted shirts. It just kept going. I'm like, I have baggy sweatshirts. Don't get me wrong, but I wanted some fitted ones. I wanted to look kind of nicer when I went out. Like, I just wanted to present myself. And then it got into like facial. I started putting like certain facial stuff on my face. Sure. Let me tell you something. You could be young, but like shit starts to change when you get a little bit older. So I was trying to, make sure my facial looked nice and stuff like that. And yeah, I like to be the small spoon. I like flowers. I think the issue is just because you're masculine presenting in clothing does not mean you're not a woman.
Yes.
Underneath that,
you're
still allowed to embrace your femininity.
Yes.
And if you are with a partner, and I've heard this many times where some, partners are like, well, no, I need someone to take those masculine roles. And I get that. But at the same time, don't forget that your masculine presenting partner is a woman.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't forget that they're a woman.
That's a good point.
And they still like to take them on a date. Buy them some flowers sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
And
pat their ass sometimes. Well, not with everybody.
No, I'm down for that. I'm down for that. Get it. Come on. Let me turn it over for you. Let me just ooh. Let me flip my hair. No hair. Come on, flip your scalp. Like the girls.
Yeah.
Shit. It's funny that you bring that up, because I think I credit so much to my partner currently. She is incredible. She is the most special woman. She's the most special woman I've ever come across. Platonically, romantically, any type of level. She's an incredible woman. Yeah. And she has given me so much opportunity to grow and to explore. And God, I couldn't ask for a more special partner, because I've had partners in the past, who maybe had those really strict identity boxes in their head. And because I present masculine in my body, in my clothes, I'm also very feminine in so many different ways. And I guess that was often forgotten. So I'm gonna tell you a quick story. It brought me to tears. Let me just preface it with that. But I remember literally this partner asked me, what do I want to do for my birthday? And I was like, okay, I want to get a massage. I want to get my nails done. that was what I wanted to do. Yeah. That's what I want to do. And she was kind of weirded, but I was like, okay, maybe she's like weird because she wants me to ask for more. Like, oh yeah, you know, a boat, yacht, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Not buy a yacht, but like a boat date or something like that.
Yeah, like a
But
cruise or something.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm very simple. So anyway, that's what I asked for. And we go to the nail salon, and you know, I pick out a color. I pick out some kind of red or something like that for my toes. And I'm like, oh, I want this. What do you think? You know, excited. And it's like maybe our first time getting our nails done together. And she looks at me and is like, ew, like, you know, you're getting color. Like very, and it broke my heart. It broke my heart to pieces. I literally cried in the nail salon because I'm like, one, this is my birthday, right? Two, are you literally saying to me I can't paint my nails? You know what I'm saying? Like it was
Wait, I want to get it.
yeah, it was crazy. I couldn't be my full self. You know what I'm saying? In past relationships, you know what I mean? So, you know, advice to anybody, like go find something that's freeing to you. You should be in a relationship that feels free and liberating, not jail, not restrictive.
Where you could be your wholehearted self. Listen, it's so funny you say that. And shout out to the healthy relationships.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just gonna say shout out because my boo. I mean, I literally talked about her last episode. I'm always gonna talk about her. It's like she's literally like my best friend.
I love it.
I think the coolest thing about having a healthy relationship like that, there's two sides to it. You will self-sabotage, okay, if you've been through some shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Therapy. Therapy
healthy,
plug.
Therapy
plug.
Therapy. Hey.
Yeah.
The healthy part about it is just being with somebody that is allowing you to pretty much explore life.
Yeah.
Okay? Not the preconditioned thoughts of like how a masculine presenting woman should be. Just more like, oh, you want to try this? Okay, cool. Let's go do it. And, oh, you want to do it? Okay, cool. Let's go do it. And I remember the first few times I said some stuff. I looked at her like,
suspicious.
In my head, I'm like, yeah, it's suspicious. And I remember, I always crack a joke with her. I'm just like, and you had me in the fucking trenches for so many years. When you were around, like, this is some bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm glad I got you.
Yeah.
But it's trenches. Like, where you been?
Yeah.
Like, but it's just like having that type of, like, I think we see it all over the social media and people are like, oh, like healthy relationships. They do exist, guys. They're not all, I hate when I see stuff like, oh, you know, studs are this, mass presentings are this. We're not all like that. Don't let the bad outweigh the good. There's a lot of really good women out there that will love you without the bullshit.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
100%.
With that being said, I wanted to just tap in. I'm sure you'll make a comment to it. Is that I believe that a lot of the issues when it comes towards like mass presenting women and, you know, if they're into, usually, I mean, if you're into femmes, whatever, however you date, is a lot of the toxic heterosexual norms is what's coming into the lesbian community.
Yes.
Like, heavy on it. Like, just, I see it, I'm just like, where'd y'all learn this shit? And I'm like, oh, this is, why you bring this shit here? Like,
we different.
Like, even now,
who let you in? Who let you in the club?
Like, like there's like the biphobia within the lesbian community is disgusting. And I'm just being introduced to like the fat phobia as well. I feel like it's disgusting. The fact that I thought the whole point of us all being in together in like one little circle was just because it's gay. We're happy. What the hell? Like, what are we doing here? So we're just bringing in the more societal bullshit by hating on each other?
Yeah.
Like, what? I mean, comment how you feel. It's sad.
It is sad. It is very sad. And, you know, this might be hippy dippy, but I'm going to go there. So I really think, I was talking to my girlfriend about this actually. I really think that if people love themselves more and accepted themselves more, there will be less judgment for others, and there'll be less like, oh, you know, you're weird, you suck, so, you know, for your ego boost, so you can feel better.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like other people, because they're hurting inside, you know, like hurt people. I'm sure you've heard that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So, yeah. So I think if, and it starts with, it's so funny because my girlfriend recommended me this book, and that's what this is coming from, and I forget the name of the book. My Body's Not an Apology, something like that.
Okay, cool.
Something like that. I could probably get it to you. But that's what I mean. Like, if everyone, felt love and genuine acceptance of themselves, there'll be no reason to judge other people because you would let them rock.
Exactly.
If they're happy, oh my God, I love that you're happy, so I think that's kind of where it comes from. I think the whole biphobia thing is silly. You're again trying to put people in a box, and we're humans, we're not meant to be in a box, just like every tree doesn't look the same. You will never find a tree that looks the same, or a snowflake that looks the same, or a leaf that looks the same,
or a raindrop.
Yeah, nothing.
Literally.
Nothing looks the same. So why are we like, a gay is a gay, a bi is a bi, a black is a black? You know what I'm saying? Like, why are we doing that, right? So heavy. And I think it's just because of we've been taught othering, and we've been taught, ego, and we've been taught, don't get out of norms,
Well, 100% I agree with that. But I also do believe that how should I break this down? I also do believe that there needs to be okay, best way. If everyone mind their own business, I think everything would be fine. Like if everybody were to just mind their own business, live their life. I always say, like I say, if everybody were to mind their own motherfucking business and just live your life the way you want to live it, I think the world would be a better place. Because we're so worried about what the next person is doing. Like, that saying, like you're living you can't live in a glass house and throw stones. Like,
yes.
How about we just take care of ourselves individually? However I want to live my life, however you want to live your life, it's none of my business.
Yeah.
And just like, if you want to get to know the person because you genuinely want to get to know a person, then cool. But if you don't really want to get to know them and you feel like that's uncomfortable for you, keep it pushing.
Yeah.
Cool. And within, like, I would say, like, this is a world thing in general. We see it, right? We're seeing it. We saw, like, the fact that in the States there's how many school shootings is ridiculous. And the fact that they're trying to fix it with more armed guns, like, armed schools. I've been hearing how people are like, we're going to arm schools. That's not fixing or rectifying the issue.
Yeah.
It's
terrifying.
It shows so much. It's terrifying.
Yeah.
And it's just like, if we were all to just take a step back, love each other, keep it pushing. Just take a step back. Mental health plays a part, 100%.
Yeah.
But if we take a step back and just love each other and just keep it pushing, not this religion's better than this one, not this country's better than that, not this lifestyle is better than that. Yeah. And it's what hurts me the most is having all that societal shit outside and seeing it within our community. Yeah. That's heartening because that shouldn't be the case. That should be like, nah, we ain't gonna do that. But we're literally copying and
because we're already othered. And so
we're ready to other.
Yeah. They already don't fuck with us, y'all. So why would we fuck with each other?
And like even down to the racism within it, it's just it breaks my heart. It totally breaks my heart.
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
If you could say anything to the younger version of yourself, let's say hypothetically.
Yeah.
Your younger version of yourself is sitting, the 20-year-old of you is sitting in front of you right now. And asking you, all right, what can you tell me? What should I do? I'm 20. What would you say to them?
Man, damn, that's tough.
Sally.
I would probably, what'd you say?
I said Sally.
I would probably say, I'm excited for you. Genuinely, I feel like nothing else is really coming to mind. I would just tell that person, hey, you're going to go through some shit, dude, but I'm really excited for you because, you're going to go through a lot of painful moments. You're going to go through a lot of confusion, a whole bunch of tears, a whole bunch of, self-exploration, all this stuff. But I'm really excited for you because at 29, you feel really fucking great, and just make it. You're gonna be good. So I'll see you at 29, and I'll dap myself up, and I'll be like, all right, see you, and then walk away.
And if you could tell us, say, the future version of you, what would you say? Yeah, let's say 10 years from now, you're 29, you're about to turn 30, so you'll be 40. Look, 40. I'm 5 years from that. You'll be 40. Just if you could say anything. Yeah. Because you never know. You could be helping somebody out right now that's like,
Yeah. I would say I really hope that you're able to conquer the voices in your head, that you're able to conquer your anxiety. So I have generalized anxiety disorder. I've been anxious since a kid. I grew up dealing with like homelessness and stuff like that. So like very scared financially. Even when I'm great and good financially, I'm terrified of I'm terrified. Like even
a lot of people probably live with that though, to be honest.
Yeah, probably.
Even any immigrant probably,
Yeah,
I would say, like,
yeah,
or a child of an immigrant probably lives with that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Even when I have a fridge full of food, I'm terrified that this fridge is going to be empty the next time I open it. You know, so I live with that constant terror, and it has motivated me. I will say it has helped me in my business, but it is not the right motivation for sustainability. I'll say that. It motivated me to get started. It motivated me to be hungry, but it's not something that's going to sustain you through a career. You have to evolve. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I have now evolved to, okay, my motivation is impact. My motivation is helping people change their lives, helping me change my own life, you know, clearing all my family's debt. That's my true motivations right now.
Wow.
Right? And so that's huge, right? For me. But all that I still have days sometimes, very randomly, where it's like hard to get out of bed, where it's like all I'm thinking about is just all bad. You know what I'm saying? So I pray, and one of my big goals is to, when I do have kids, right, is to not pass that on to my kids. I don't want my children, I don't want my children to be scared or fearful or over. You know, I was that kid when I was like 7 or 8. And I'm like, oh my God, did we turn the oven off? Are we sure we did it? Hey mom, can we turn around the car? Are you sure we did it? Like just anxious, like high strung all the time. And I don't want to be that person for my kid. You know, I don't want to pass that anxiety and say, hey, I don't fucking know, kid, did you close the fridge? Are you sure you closed the fridge? Can you go downstairs and check it? I don't want to do that to my kids, because then they'll learn that. You know what I mean? So I have to heal myself. And that's something I'm working on. Yeah.
Shout out to that.
Yeah.
Shout out. I feel you on that. I think I had like a conversation with my mother last year where I just kind of said, I was like, you know, I love the fact that my nephews, they get to express themselves. You know, if they're upset, my brother, you know, and his wife, my sister-in-law, will listen. You know, even if they allow them to cry. Because you know how it is with like, they used to, you know, people will say like, boys don't cry, that type of stuff. Nah, they're all in on that.
That's
like
good.
They allow them to cry, which I love. Because they should... Sorry?
No, you said they're all in on that. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I love it because, like, you know how, like, I remember being like hearing that, like, boys don't cry, blah blah blah. And I'm like, why don't they cry? Like, why am I allowed? They're not. That made no sense. So I told my mother, I was like, you know what? I'm really happy they get to express themselves because, like, truly speaking, I couldn't do it. And I'm like, because I didn't feel like I was allowed to. And my mother said, she took a second, like she went silent for a bit. And I was like, oh shit. Like, I upset my mom. And she just said, I apologize because, you know, I didn't know how to show you how to do that because I didn't know how to do that.
Wow.
And I just said,
that's huge. Yeah.
Okay. And she said, yeah. So you're right. I love seeing my 3 grandsons get a chance to do that.
Yeah.
But she's like, honestly, I didn't know how to, I never got to do it. And I guess I didn't show you guys how to do it. But you're right. He's breaking the cycle.
Oh, man. That's so beautiful.
That was dope.
Oh,
I was
wow.
like, so I apologize to you that if you felt like you couldn't express yourself the way you wanted to, because I just didn't know how to do it. At that moment, and there's a time in your life when you're going to look at your parents or your elders, your guardians, whatever, and you're not going to see them as that person who raised you or the person who protects you. You're going to look at them as an adult, just an adult. But more importantly, you're going to look at them as a child. Because you're going to be like, oh, crap, I know what that felt like. And crap, you went through it at a completely different time in the world. So, yeah. Okay. Wow. Like, I sat back and I was like, oh, Mike, it's cool, Mom. We're just talking. So, but I didn't realize the severity of her apologizing until I got home. And I was like, Mom, apologize to me today? Like, it took me a second to, like, understand that. And I think it was super dope for that. But I think it's so important for breaking those generational steps. And I told my mother that when I had kids, my partner has 2. And I never want those kids to ever feel like they can't express themselves with me. If something's wrong, if they feel like they need to, bawl, cry it out,
Mm-hmm.
talk to me though. But I want to always be that open parent so that they can come to me, because you want to have your child to come to you.
Yes.
You know, like you want that. And I get it. Like sometimes auntie's a better option because you may feel a little uncomfortable to have this uncomfortable conversation with your parents.
Yeah.
But, or uncle may be the other option. But I want to create such a safe space, and I think you're on the same spot where I want my kids to come to me and say, I messed up, but I need your help. Like, I want them to say they can express themselves as much as I can.
Yeah.
Do you want, like, kids you thinking of having?
Yeah. So first off, how beautiful of your mom to take accountability.
She's dope.
Yeah, that's not easy as a parent.
No.
But I know that hit different for you. I recently had a conversation with my dad, and he finally sort of apologized for something that happened to the family over 16 years ago. And that was so powerful for me. And I told him, I feel like I trust you a lot more now. You know, I feel like this is going to be incredible for our relationship. You know, I want to call you. I want to hang out with you now. You know what I'm saying? So it's powerful.
It means,
it means so powerful because they're growing. They're on their life journey too, right? We can't fault them. They're human. Exactly. Just like we're on our life journey. We're just different ages.
Exactly.
So I know that was powerful. So I'm happy for y'all. That's beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was, but I'm gonna tell you, I made a video about it. About a conversation my mother went. It broke my heart to the comments I read where people older than you and I were saying, I wished my parents would apologize. I wish my mom had that conversation with me and just held herself accountable. And that's when I told my mom, and she's like, I believe it. There's many parents out there that will never hold themselves accountable, even as they get older. But she's like, you know, it's up to you if you want to embrace like knowing new. She's like, I learned as much as you learned off of me. She's like, I've learned off of you.
Wow.
And that's how it should be.
Life,
like,
man.
She's like, she's like, your spot in your life versus my spot in my life she's like, it's how many years apart. So you know something more about what's going on in this day and age. I may know from something back in the day. Like, she's great with history. She's big on that.
Oh, nice.
So she'll teach me that stuff. And then I'll say, okay, like if she needs help with something that's now present, I got her. One of my siblings and I got her.
Yeah.
But it's just like that's just how life should work.
Yeah.
And
life
I think if parents were to have these conversations with their parents, especially with their children more, especially with children who are part of the LGBTQ community, because a lot of us feel like we can't go to our parents. A lot of us feel like we are going to be sold right off the bat. And in some cases, yes, but in some cases, no. It depends. I've heard some great stories where people are like, oh, okay, I kind of knew already. Yeah. So what we're going to have dinner? And I'm like, wait, what? You know, like they have those, mine was not like that, but they have those conversations. Like, we need to just also, how should I put it? Give, depending if you like your parents, give your parents a bit of a break, because there was a point when they were your age, and think about it. Like my mom, I had 3 kids at my age. I have none.
My mom had 3 kids by 24. You
see what I'm saying? Like sometimes I'm like, my daddy came here at like 38. Like never left any country but his homeland of Jamaica. Yeah. You know, sometimes I sit back and I'm like, yeah. Not like there's a point where you just look at your parents as adults. Yeah. You look at them as human, not just. And I'm not going to say this dismisses for crappy behavior, but I'm just saying, like, sometimes you just got to take a step back and be like, "Oh, you're human.
Yeah, you're on your journey too.
You're on your journey.
You are. If they're aware, I will say that too. I think people. I'm not the most wise or anything like that, but I feel like when people take on self-awareness, they also take on the responsibility of the mirror and looking at themselves. And if they look at themselves and ignore shit, then they're not the right, time. But if you look at yourself and like, oh, okay, I have this trauma. Okay, with this, I have this. Oh, okay, I got some work to do. Let me go get some books. Let me go to some seminars.
Let's start.
Reflect. Let me think about things. Let me go to therapy. You know what I'm saying? So it's an act. It's a verb. It's an action. You know what I'm saying? It's not so much to say, oh, I'm fucked up. It is what I am. It is what it is. Deal with it. No, it is an action of unraveling, unlearning, and relearning. And that's a beautiful thing. Yeah. Yeah.
That is.
Yeah.
But you did mention you want to have kids.
Yes.
Do you have an idea of like how many? Because of we would have to do it very differently. So do you have
Yeah.
an idea of like how
Yeah.
how many
So
you're thinking of
yes.
having?
Yeah. So I don't plan on carrying. We want to have three, I almost said children's, but killed kids and children.
I mean,
So
after
three,
nephews,
three
kind of
children.
stuff.
Yeah. We want three children, probably, and maybe four, maybe adopt as well too.
Okay,
But I do not plan on carrying, but I do plan on doing the expensive route of eggs harvesting and,
that's exactly what.
yeah, all that stuff. So, we thinking about traveling to a different country because it's a little, less expensive to do that. But yeah, so that's our plan. Yeah, we want babies for sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's dope. I think like I know people are saying like not a lot of people our age are having kids, but I think we're choosing more because we want to have kids in a healthy environment, and I don't think there's anything really wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're taking some of the necessarily steps. Some of us may be in therapy, and we're always going to be in therapy if you have that on call. But I think it's dope that you guys have discussed that to a T.
Yeah.
My partner and I have both discussed that as well. Actually, that was one of our very first conversations.
Me too.
I was like, do you want more kids? I was like, do you want more kids?
Yeah.
She has two. She has a boy and a girl. I love those two kids.
Oh,
and
so cute.
I was like, do you want more? And she said she would go for one more.
Oh, nice.
Like, all right.
That's important. Cool. Yeah, that's important. Man, talking, what's great about relationships, I know this isn't a relationship podcast episode, I guess. I don't know, it might be.
We're a bit of both. We're talking about this is a healthy mass presenting conversation.
Okay, fabulous.
Share this with people.
Fabulous. So when you've gone through some shit relationships, if anybody's listening going through a shit relationship, learn. The first thing I did when I got out of my relationships, I went to therapy. Because I was okay, there's some things wrong with me as to why I accept certain behavior, as to why I stayed, as to why, and then I started learning about attachment styles. I started learning about myself. I started, you know what I'm saying? So I say this to say, all that. I say this to say, those experiences are valuable if you find lessons in them. I've learned so much. I am so grateful for all my ex-partners because I learned so much. And that pointed me in the direction of exactly what I want and what I'm willing to tolerate. Yes. And so literally me and my current partner today, our second date, we titled it like Hot Topics, and we literally prepared. Okay. And we were like, okay, you come up with your questions, I come up with my questions. We made, on the notes app on iPhones, we sat by a beach and we talked. Because she's an Indian woman. So we talked about race. We talked about having Black children. We talked about
culture.
We talked about money. We talked about everything, marriage. We talked about every single thing. And it's hot topics because it's things that sometimes we're too scared to talk about. Right. And so when you've been through shit relationships, you know almost exactly what to talk about. Like, oh, I ain't like that. So how you gonna be? You know what I mean? If this happens, and how's your fighting style? And are we arguing or are we talking? Are you open to therapy or not? You know what I'm saying? So it's important. That's important. Yeah.
I will say 150%. I will say that having those discussions are a game changer. Yeah. Game changers. I think that this is why it's so important to invest in yourself, because you'll know exactly to the most degree of like what it is that you're looking for your life and what kind of partner you want to have. Yeah. To come along with you with the journey. Like it will literally help you break that down. Yeah. So definitely invest in yourself. But in terms of like culture, like how do y'all? Because that's that's interracial. Like how do you guys manage that? Yeah. Like how do you balance that, especially in a world that is the world? How do you balance that?
That's true. It's so interesting because I know we're interracial, but I've never thought about it interracially, if that makes sense. Yeah. Also, book plug real quick. I love books. Definitely a book called Attached was something that helped me learn my attachment style and how I operate as an adult in relationships specifically. Mm-hmm. So if you're looking for healthier connections, Attached is a great book. I forget the author. Okay. But anyway, I guess we are interracial, right? So we do talk about donor. We talk about mainly for kids.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. So her being an Indian woman, me being a Black woman, we talk about that a lot. We talk about the N-word. We talk about safety. We talk about for different experiences. She grew up Muslim, so she wore a hijab, and so I feel like she can relate a lot, at least to my personal experience, right? I know I'm only one Black person. I know she's only one Indian person. So I'm not talking for the whole racist, okay? I'm not talking. I'm not the representation, okay?
Right. No.
I hate when people try and do that, like, oh, in the comments, oh, you don't speak for. No, I'm not. I'm speaking from my personal experience. But anyway,
right.
For her, right, to go through the experiences that she went through, for example, praying openly, multiple times a day in public, wearing a hijab to the beach, all these different things where people tend to turn their eyes and look, and especially after 9/11, all of that, and just how much of a threat she was appeared to be, I think was very liberating in a sense to me, because I feel like she was coming from a place and a perspective of where she understood how being looked at felt. And so for me, right, how we operate, of course, we talk about so many different things. Having kids, for example, how she feels about having Black children, and all those different things, and how we can incorporate both of our cultures. So, for example, different words that she uses, different words, different languages that she uses, in how we want to raise our kids, and we want to incorporate both. We want our kids to know both and to love both. And so, I in public, we don't, she no longer wears the hijab just because of her own personal, situations and growth and thoughts and stuff. So we don't get like looks like that. And also people think that I'm a guy. So like, I don't get a lot of, you know what I mean? I don't get a lot of like the gay looks unless I go to the bathroom.
Oh, not the bathroom.
Yeah, the bathroom's a whole different thing. So I feel like I understand that we are very privileged, because there are people who cannot operate with their partner in public, maybe how we operate. And, I feel for those people for sure. So, yeah.
Yeah, it is tricky. I've been in interracial relationships before, and it can become very tricky. Mm-hmm. But I think that if communication, that's all I'm going to say. Communication is so damn key. If you're not willing to both sides be open, like just not good. And also, obviously, not doing it for the whatchamacallit, the more of the like, oh, like, yay, this is what I have, like the show pony type of shit. More like, no, I love this person for who they are. Mm-hmm. Period. That makes like if you're gonna do that show point type of shit, it obviously that I've been there. It's very toxic and uncomfortable and downright just disrespectful. Yeah. But it all depends like how you position it. But I think it's important to communicate and communicate often.
100%.
So I asked everybody this question. I'm gonna ask you.
Bet.
This is like usually I ask this the last question.
Come on, Birdman.
Yeah. What makes you feel the most dope? Like what makes you feel the most dope in your life?
Yeah. Cologne. Cologne and working out. Like I love getting big as shit. I love getting muscles. I love that's what I love about working out, because I get to live in a body, or I'm on a journey just like everybody else. And I'm not perfect, and so I get to build towards a body that makes me feel like home, and I think, taking it back to your first question, when I gained 50 pounds, I have very curvaceous women in my family. So my breasts were bigger, my hips were bigger, my ass was, I was just like, and I looked at myself and I was like, oh my God, this is not okay. I got a binder. I was thinking about hormone treatments. I was just like, I was really going through it. Right. But obviously I didn't proceed because I do not at this point in time feel like a trans man. And so I would literally be only taking testosterone, this was back in 2015, 2018.
Just to like kind of hide it?
Just to get muscular. Or? Yeah, just to get more muscular.
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh,
testosterone.
okay.
Yeah. So I would literally...
Just to gain more.
Exactly. I would only do it for that. And that was years ago. I don't think like that anymore. But that's that's how I felt, right? That's how I don't want to say how low I was, because I think that's kind of disrespectful. That's not what I mean.
Then, anyone could.
But how much I want to change my body.
yeah, how you were feeling about your own body, and when
Yes.
like you weren't loving your body at that present
Yes.
moment. So you were trying to figure out another
How
way
can
to,
I get muscle, yeah, all that stuff.
yeah, and fall in love with your body more.
Exactly, exactly. So, that's how I feel the most dope. When I am living a healthy and active lifestyle, I can just cut my hair. I feel fucking incredible.
Shout out
You
to
know what I mean?
that.
And I like to smell good. You know what I'm saying? That feels
Yeah.
good. That honestly feels like the most dope to me.
I can
Yeah.
tell that you like you love yourself, and I think that's it's huge. Like you absolutely love all of you, and I think that's important, guys. Like whoever's listening to this, and I say, and obviously, life is a journey in general.
Yes.
But when you fall in love with who you are at that present moment, it makes such a huge difference. And it doesn't mean you can't grow. It doesn't mean you can't, elevate your life. Not saying that. But when you actually just fall in love, because life's gonna happen. Life is be lifing. All
Mm-hmm.
right. Like you could be the fittest person at your best time in your life, and then you get assaulted at work. Like things
Mm-hmm.
can happen. So, but it's just still loving who you are
Yeah.
in your present moment. That's all I want to leave you guys with.
Yeah.
Love who you are in your present moment. It was lovely having you on the show. I'm
Yeah.
definitely going to have you back.
Thank you.
Definitely going to have you back.
Oh, bet. Let's go.
I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to see if I can have probably like a stud conversation and just pick everyone's brain. I have two people in mind, and I think it would be a really good idea.
Yeah.
I'll probably make a video on TikTok and see what people think.
Oh, fire.
Because I truly believe that in terms of Black masculine presenting women,
Mm-hmm.
we need to have these more conversations. More, as you said, this is not competition.
Mm-mm.
We all want each other to win. Honestly, I want you to win. There's many others I want everyone to win.
Yeah.
Why not? So I feel like having this discussion would be great. I just came up with the idea. I'm gonna ponder on it. But I appreciate having you on the show.
Of course.
I'm definitely happy back. 100%. And for those who are listening, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed the conversation. For those who are watching, hope you enjoy the conversation as well. And I hope you guys walk with peace and love.